Hello everyone, welcome back to Sam's Math Tutorials. And today we are continuing to go through the SAT Math Study Guide. And today this is going to be the Inequalities lesson. And then after this there'll be a practice video coming out tomorrow with practice problems. So I hope that you'll use that to your benefit as well. So let's get started here. What is an inequality, you may be asking? So an inequality, it's pretty much the same thing as an equation. The main thing that we need to remember is that an equation always has some variable with an equal sign and then what the variable is equal to. So in this case, y is equal to 2x plus 1. The only thing that's different about an inequality when compared to an equation is that the equal sign is replaced with either a less than sign, a greater than sign, a greater than or equal to sign, or a less than or equal to sign. So in this case, basically an inequality is going to have the variable, so y in this case, then the sign is less than, and then what the variable is less than 2, which is 2x plus 1. So that's what an inequality is. Here's just some basic facts about inequalities that you should know in general. The mouth of the sign, quote unquote, should be in the direction of the greater value. So in this instance up here, it says 10 is greater than 1. This is the greater than sign. The mouth is open towards 10, which is a greater quantity than 1. So that should make sense. And then in this case, we don't know exactly what 2x plus 1 is going to be equal to, but the greater than sign indicates, with its open mouth towards the 2x plus 1, that indicates that the 2x plus 1 is greater than the 1. And then also when the multiplication sign and the division sign are used, so when you multiply or divide in an inequality by negative numbers, you need to flip the signs. So for in this instance, if you're multiplying by negative 2, if you're multiplying the whole inequality by negative 2, you distribute as seen here and here, but then you have to flip the greater than to the less than. So you'll see this a lot, and it's just an important thing to keep in mind when you're solving for inequalities. One more fact that you should know, there are such things as compound inequalities, and you will see these on the SAT. And a compound inequality is basically an equation that is placed between two numbers, and you have to remember to do the same to both sides. So it's the same thing as a normal inequality, but let's say here in this inequality, we're going to subtract 2 from the middle. So we can't just subtract 2 from 9. We also have to subtract 2 from 2. So when we subtract 2, we subtract 2 here and here. So then it becomes 0 is less than or equal to 3x, which is less than or equal to 7. So that's all you need to remember. Just what you do to one side, you have to do to both sides when it comes to compound inequalities. Now here's another thing that's going to be on the SAT. Graphing inequalities. There's going to be one-dimensional graphing and two-dimensional. Here we're just going to go over one dimension. So we have this equation here. We're supposed to graph it. 2 is less than or equal to 3x, which is less than 8. So basically we're going to draw a line on top of this number line above in order to indicate where the inequality stands. Now, on the endpoints, so in this case 2 and 8, if the symbol doesn't have an equal to sign, so it's just either greater than or less than, then it's going to be an open dot. But if it does have an equal to sign, it's going to be a solid dot. So let's graph this. So 2, which is less than or equal to 3x, so we're going to take that. We're going to put a dot here. The 2 is less than or equal to 3x. which is less than 8. So 8 is the other endpoint, and that doesn't have the equal sign. So we're just going to draw a circle. And then all you do is you just draw a line all the way through. And also this is the x-axis. Just remember that. All right, now we're going to do 2 dimensions. So in this case, they're giving you two different inequalities, excuse me. Y is less than x plus 3, and 3y is greater than x plus 1. So first, the first inequality is good, but I'm just going to solve for the second one. This is called a system of inequalities, by the way. Just like a system of equations, but with inequalities in the place of them. So we're going to divide on the bottom, we're going to divide both sides by 3, so we get y is greater than 1 over third x plus 1 over 3. Okay, and that's this equation right here. So then let's graph the first. So the y is less than x plus 3. So we're treating this, for right now, for the first step, exactly like we're graphing a normal equation on an xy axes. So here we go. Let me change my pen color. So the y-intercept here is 3. So we're going to come up there. And then the slope is 1, so which is the same as 1 over 1. So rise 1, run 1. Here we go. Let's come on. There we go. Then rise 1, run 1. And those are really big, but whatever. Then we can do it this way, and then let's see here. All right, so we have a general idea of a line, and there's no equal sign. That's the other thing. Whenever you're graphing, so if there's no equal sign, like right here, then it's going to be a dotted line. If there is an equal sign, it's going to be a solid line. So here we're going to draw a dotted line, and I'm going to do this in black pen. Great. Now let's do the other one. Y is greater than 1 over 1/3 x plus 1/3. So we're going to go up 1/3, and I'm going to draw this with the yellow, which is about right here. Come on. Anyway, I think you see it right there. And the slope is rise or run, so rise is 1 and run is 3. So we're going to rise up 1 and go over 3. Let's color that in. Rise up 1 and go over 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to go down 1 and over 3. We're going to go down 1 and over 3. Now, and it's not a less, it's not, there's no equal sign. So this is also going to be a dotted line. Great. Now, here's the other part. Whenever you're graphing in 2-dimension, you have to shade in. Okay, and then wherever the shaded part of the graph, whenever it converges, those are the solutions to the system of inequalities. So whenever there is a greater than sign, let me just draw this down here, greater than or greater than or equal to, shade above, and whenever it's less than or equal to, shade below. Let me just make sure that you guys can read that. Above. There we go. So I'm going to use one of my thinner markers, and let's see here. I'll use that color. So we're going to start out with y is less than x plus 3. That is this line. So if it's less than, we're going to shade below. So there we go. I'll just shade in like that. And then we're going to go to this, which is that. Y is greater than 1 over 3x plus 1 over 3. So that's this line right here. And it's greater than, so we'd shade above. So everything in this area, solution. That's what you do. All right. And this is our last slide. Inequality systems, which is exactly what I talked about. The easiest way to solve for inequality systems is to graph. And then whatever is shaded in will be your solution. And if you want to find out more information about that, go back in the video, watch what I did on the previous slide. All right, guys, well, that's it for this lesson. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And I will see you in the practice problems video.